Ethan Coen, known to have worked with his brother on a few movies that are critically acclaimed. Ones that I really enjoyed are Fargo and Burned After Reading. Here he directs and co-writes alongside Trisha Cook, who has a couple shorts on her belt. And now we have what feels like a high-budget student film, and I say high-budget relative to a typical student film, about two girls looking for a fresh start, going on a journey that leads to an unexpected adventure involving dangerous people. I am personally only happy that the high-budget blockbusters aren't taking over the movie theaters. But that's the only thing to be happy about when it comes to this movie. Hello everyone, my name is Max Aaron James. This is a review of the movie Drive-Away Dolls, which felt like two ideas or concepts, one being more fleshed out than the other, being mushed together, and one being also much more interesting, and a movie that is by two people that clearly show that even after years of making movies and being regarded as, well, one of them being regarded as a great director, they clearly show that they have very little idea of what they're doing on their own, and it makes you wonder if the other brother was the one doing all the work. One of the stories that I feel they had in this movie is a road trip with friends, two friends that get closer as friends as the journey goes on, and maybe eventually they built a better bond or they realize they've outgrown each other. Something like that. The other story has to do with a suitcase and some criminals, and it felt more like an idea because it comes to such an abrupt and disappointing end that you start questioning what was the point of having it in this movie in the first place. There were a few psychedelic sequences that felt very separate from the actual movie or what the story's about. Weird transitions from one scene to the other, like the crashing scene, like crashing frames or sliding the screen or the frame to get to the next scene, and the editing from Trisha Cook, who has edited other movies for the Coens, here seemed to all of a sudden be given much more control, especially because she's a co-writer along with Ethan Coen, and it just went off the rails. Our two leads, Geraldine Viswanathan and Margaret Qualley, they are fine. Geraldine, though, she did great. She carried this because she gave a performance that felt very her, felt very unique, and felt that she was trying to put her own identity into this character. Qualley, on the other hand, it felt like she watched Thelma and Louise and she said, I can play both of these characters at once. Her accent was not good. It became annoying, and she didn't seem to add any personality to the character. Granted, the characters here were not well developed. The two lead girl characters written by Coen and Cook, presumably, not only had no redeeming qualities but had very weak personalities. All I knew was that they were horny and they were lesbian. So there's this heist cat and mouse, a road trip buddy film, and a romance packaged into an hour and 24 minutes, which thank goodness it was only an hour and 24 minutes, leading to this decently shot film that was not a bad experience, but this was not a good movie. And it felt by a third of the movie that Coen was trying to present a feminist, female-led movie that women can do action heist movies just as well as men. It felt very contrived and it did not feel genuine, and it shows because he does not know how to write women characters well. This movie, just like Lisa Frankenstein, you can wait till streaming unless you're going to have a little cute date to a matinee. Then maybe it's worth watching for a matinee, depending what theater you go to, because I know prices range depending on your location. Until next time, y'all take care of each other, check up on one another, make sure you check up on yourself, and remember, potential has no limit.